So once again, welcome to the Business of You mini burst of empowerment session. And today's topic is the power of words. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. So we are about to dive into one of my most favorite topics. It's an important subject, and that is the power of words. And those of you who have been with me for a while, you've heard me talk about the power of words. Heard me talk about the impact of them. Today is going to be a little bit of a reminder, and hopefully you'll experience something new today as well. Welcome, Lily Beth. Great to see you. Great to have you. I'm just going to wait till her audio connection is made. And some folks are texting. Bear with me, you guys. Thank you for your patience. Okay. All right. So once more, welcome to the Business of You mini burst. And I love that word. And I'm going to give Lori credit for that word. Burst of empowerment session. Today's topic is the power of words. And as I mentioned, we're diving into one of my most favorite subjects, which is the power of words. And I invite you all to be with me here right now, to be present to the information that you're about to receive and experience. I'm inviting us to drop out of our heads and into our hearts. And allow me to remind you that words have the power to create or destroy. Just doing a little bit of housekeeping here. Again, thank you for your patience. Okay. All right. So I'm actually going to start with a quick exercise. We're about 4 minutes after, so I'm going to speak quickly and succinctly today. Do my best at doing that as well. I'm going to ask you to pay attention to where your body is meeting the chair that you're in. And those of you who have done meditations with me before, you understand this process I'm about to put you through, this experience or experiment. Pay attention to where your body is meeting the chair. If you're standing, where your feet are touching the floor. And I'm going to ask your body to relax. Relax, body. Relax. Relax the whole body. Relax. Relax the whole body. Relax. Go ahead and say this a few more times. Just relax, body. Relax the whole body. Relax. Relax the whole body. Relax. So I'm not sure. I'm hoping that what was conveyed is that your body and you are actually feeling relaxed. Can you, by a show of hands, just gently raise that your body actually feels relaxed from that moment? Yeah. Perfect. Beautiful. This is the power of words. This is the power of words. It's not my voice. It was the commanding of your body to relax. And you have the power to command your body, to command your experiences, to command experiments, to command relationships or conversations, how you wish it to go. It's powerful. And as I mentioned earlier, words do have the power to create or destroy. Our language reveals our level of consciousness and self-awareness. Every statement that we make, every question that we ask, contains embedded assumptions that reveal our values, our attitudes, and our worldview. And what we speak into existence. And the thing that I am inviting you to remember today is that you have the power to choose the words that you are speaking in any given moment. I was speaking with a friend yesterday who was concerned about finances and that they felt like they had overextended themselves. They were uncomfortable with that. And she allowed herself to attach to the words that she was saying about that experience. And she was feeling terrible about it. And the more she thought about it and thought about how terrible she felt, the more terrible she felt. And after the conversation or during the conversation, it came up that gratitude could be felt for actually having the means, which she did have, to invest in what she invested in. And that gratitude and the language began to switch. And when she began to switch and choose different words about that experience, she created an entirely different vibration for herself, an entirely different view, one of hope, one of excitement versus despair or concern. What we speak into existence. It is my very favorite sentence. Until we understand how we are operating, where we are operating from, what point of view, nothing can change or be improved. So the biggest invitation I have for you today moving forward is to get really curious. What is your state of mind? What is it that you are speaking and repeating over and over and over again? And pay attention to how you're feeling as a result of those repeated words. Because words are like coins, currency that we're passing amongst each other as well as within ourselves. They imprint upon us. And so I have some questions here that I'm going to ask. And you're welcome to replay this later and answer them, and really answer them honestly, radically so. Because until we get clear as to where we are, again, what point of view we are operating from, which our outer world, our experiences reflect, we can't change anything. And so what does your outer world currently look like? Who's in it? What are the activities that you're doing? What is the quality of the relationships that you have with yourself and with others? Is there turmoil? Is there jealousy? Is there envy? Is there happiness, joy? What is your current experience with your career? Do you feel stuck? Do you hear yourself saying that you are stuck? And what is your health like? And share a quick personal story. In my early 30s, I was under tremendous amounts of stress, as I'm sure all of you have experienced at one point or consistently. My mother was battling her second battle with a 10-year war on colon cancer, and she was dying. I was in the middle of a divorce, raising my daughter alone. I was working full-time as a social worker. I opened up my own spa and wellness center, working full-time there. And I was in graduate school, all at the same time. And I ended up getting walking pneumonia twice. But the thing I wanted to point out today was that I was a size 18 because I was eating my emotions. And I would get out of breath just walking, especially upstairs. And the words that I was saying when I became cognizant of it, because we're always engaging in dialogue with ourselves and about everything and everyone that we see on the street that's standing in line from us. Our brain is never not communicating, never not talking. And so it really is our responsibility to understand what it is that we are saying, subconsciously and consciously. And when I became aware of what it was that I was saying things like, I'm fat, I'm hungry, I'm exhausted. And these were the things that I literally, there was like 10 to 15 sentences that I was saying every day throughout the day with different conversations with people, and that was going on replay in my mind. And those things were true at that time until I began to change a different story. I changed the narrative within my own mind. And I began to say, even though I'm heavy right now, I'm doing everything in my power to become the best shape of my life. And that was the new dialogue that I began to say. And that changed the trajectory of my health, how I looked, how I felt. And so the exercise that I did earlier of relaxing your body, telling your body to relax. Whenever you are feeling anxious or stressed, whenever you wake up to how it is you are in that moment, in this moment, and now this moment, and now this moment, whenever you wake up to how you are feeling. And if that's difficult for you, you can begin to pay attention to your body language, your body posture, and your facial expressions, because these things tell us how we're feeling. If we're slumped over, if we're like this, if we're holding our head up. These things are indications as to how we are feeling in any given moment. And that is the invitation when you realize that you are not living vibrantly or vivaciously or with vitality. And if those are things that you want, you can then choose different sentences, even if you don't know what the sentences are that you were saying that made you feel in that slumped and go into that slumped state of mind or being. You can begin to declare an entirely different story for yourself. You have that power. If you ever had a crush on someone in high school or were dating somebody in high school and that relationship ended and you felt terrible and you were crushed and you went and you ate ice cream or you went and you tried to console yourself. And within a day or a few hours later, that person changed their mind and called you up and said, let's go to the movies. Your energy, who you were in that moment, changed instantly from sorrow and grief and feeling terrible about yourself and lonely to excited and reinvigorated and happy. Why? Because the thoughts and your words changed about the scenario. You have that power. And so I want to leave today with something that I listened to about, it was back in 2010. Around 2010, I listened to this. And it's called The Secret Spells of the English Language. And this is going to demonstrate even further the power of words. And I'm sharing this with you today because I really am inviting you to look how you start each day. Are you getting out of bed thinking, here we go, Groundhog Day. Here we go. I got to do this, that, and the other thing. I got to make this call, send that email, go shopping, instead of saying things like, today's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm going to create and maintain and connect with the most beautiful people and create these most beautiful relationships. When you're writing out a check or making a digital payment, some of us don't write checks out anymore, but when you're making a digital payment, are you feeling angst about sending that money out? versus blessing it and seeing it go to somebody who's actually working for their money on the other end. I bless this payment. May it reach the family and may it put food on the table for those that are receiving their income. So I leave you with this and let this sink in. The secret spells of the English language. So what do I mean by the secret spells of the English language? Well, let me share with you what I call our premier life sentence. And it goes something like this. We awake each morning and go off during the weekdays to earn the living at various jobs and undertakings until we come to the weekend. And this seems perfectly acceptable to most people. However, more people die between 6 and 9 on a Monday morning than any other time of the week. So I do what I call translation of the English language, and I spelled that TRANCE with the idea that words cast spells. So when you translate that life sentence, you remember that awake is a funeral. That awake is a funeral party for the dead. Mourning is a state you're in when you attend awake. And you would have to be in weekdays to earn the living, since urns are for the ashes of the dead. We call our jobs undertakings. Job itself is a Hebrew word for persecuted. And what we get at the end of the perverse bargain with life is the weak end of the deal as we become progressively weakened. Ourselves and are so much more prevalent. And so our most prevalent greeting, our most prevalent greeting to each other is hello. The reverse of which is, oh, hell. And at first I suspected the hands of collusion, entangling the language to foster illusion. And I think it's quite true that a culture's theology has a great deal to do with the word's etymology and how it evolves over time to combine incompatible meanings that may undermine the original thoughts. It was meant to define, but now I don't think it's planned. For the thing that I found is that the concepts can gravitate toward the same sound and vibrate at the rate that our thoughts designate. Because words are electromagnetic vibrations whose fine alphabetic tintillations can take on the tint of our true expectations, which they then imprint on our metal of mind, causing sounds to adhere when they're on the same kind. So we are at 20 after. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Thank you for participating. And remember, choose words that have vibrations. Choose words for things that you want to attract and have adhere to you in your experience that we call living in this life. Thank you so much for joining the Business of You mini burst of empowerment session. Thank you, Lori. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. Yes, thank you. Lots of love to you guys so much. Take good care. We'll send out the replay. Bye-bye.